Hello everyone, welcome back. We're Nick and Sarah, a British couple who left the UK many years ago in search of something different. We have a passion for filmmaking and travel, and with our two little dogs, we're going to take on the world, starting from tomorrow.
So this is plenty of room for this piece to be supported, and here's about halfway. This we need a little bit more.
Yeah, take it a little bit more that way so our next piece is resting on that joint there. How many times do you measure? Is it like measure about 6 times, double check, measure again? Finally got ourselves one of these, never used one of these before.
Apparently they're essential for a van build.
Essential, and yeah, we've realised that it is quite important to have one. Okay, so we've just cut a couple of extra battens to go on the floor because this is where the big piece, this is the joining piece, and we just want to make sure it's nice and secure at the ends because we've only got this going across. So a few more battens there right at the end, just for on the main walkway type thing, to make sure it's nice and solid, you know what I mean. And we're using Sikaflex 521. I think it's the right one. Right on the edge there. There you go. These ones are a tiny bit thinner, but that's fine. Really happy. This piece of wood, which is like the main floor, has slotted in absolutely perfectly.
Well, it has after lots of sanding all along here. We always cut it too big by a couple of millimetres and then...
A millimetre too big and you have to keep sanding, but it's a nice, smooth, slotted in, tight fit there. Lovely, lovely. That makes me happy. And then perfect down the other end. We wanted the edges on, you know, full battens. So we've only got these battens are the only ones that run this way, here and here. So the idea was one piece there, one piece there, one piece there. but the wood didn't work out to be that size.
Because this whole length of the van is 360. 3 pieces of wood make about 360, but those gaps are just over a metre, which left 140 here. So we buggered it up, but this is going to work out so much better.
Yeah, because basically now our main flooring, this is one big piece of floor all the way to here, which is all the way to the bed, which is the whole walking area of the van. There's only one join. And then these 2 pieces either side, they're going to be underneath all of the furniture. There's furniture all the way along here. And the furniture will go to about there. So the join is halfway into the furniture. I know what I'm talking about. I hope that made sense. Probably not. Yeah. So now we are going to cut out these 2 long pieces, and that is it. And the good thing about this is we have the template already. Completely forgot that we bought these safety goggles when we picked up the floor. So there's us wearing sunglasses when we could be wearing these. They are good, aren't they?
Very good, they are.
€1.49. I think that's probably one of the best €1.49s I've ever spent.
Yeah. Look at those beautifully cut out floor panels. A little bit tricky, but luckily we had a stencil, and then that was the first one. We just flipped it over and made a sort of cut-out drawing for the second one. Happy with that, darling?
I'm happy, but we don't know if it fits. We haven't tried them. Take the shoes off because it's a new floor.
It is fun making the little cutouts in it and smoothing it down, sanding it down, making it all nice. Here we go, moment of truth.
Is it? Will it? I'm in.
Cut a bit off here, sand it down, sand a bit there.
Here he goes, come on.
This is the fun part, it's like a massive jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? That's slotting in. Not bad, not bad.
I'm happy with that. All of the joins are going to be hidden away, but in actual fact the whole floor is going to be hidden away, isn't it? Because this is just like the subfloor, and then we think we're just going to have lino on top.
Quite like the idea of lino because then for whatever reason, if you need to take your van apart and build it, you can just take the lino up.
I mean, we did think about like slats, as in like, you know, house slat wood, that like what we've got in our bedroom, but it's heavy.
We're trying to make everything as lightweight as possible.
We're going for as light a build as we possibly can, and you know, people might say, oh, you should have used heavier materials there, you know, we should have maybe gone for a thicker floor. We went for the 10mm in the end. Maybe we should have gone for the 15mm.
It just felt so much heavier.
Oh my gosh, we lifted up the panels in the store and we could hardly lift the 15mm one. We just put more battens underneath to make sure it's nice and secure. We think it's going to be totally fine.
We just look at the flex, you know, you just hold 10, I mean the maximum space between battens is what, 10 centimetres if that.
We've got a lot of battens down, all higgledy-piggledy. And you can walk on this now, and it doesn't, in the main traffic area where you walk, this central piece, it doesn't feel like it's flexing going in at all. So we're quite happy with the choices that we've made. This is going to be the most lightweight van as possible. Yeah. Okay, let's carry on.
Look at that! It's on the GoPro, you can't even see the joins. Quite happy with that though.
Oh, better not show that. I've got like see-through leggings on, so if I do that, then it's just going to be embarrassing.
You're going to see everything.
It's going to be embarrassing, so I won't do that.
Look at that. How cool does that look? How neat. Not bad for a pair of jokers.
Not bad.
Once it's been screwed down.
Yeah, once it's screwed down, then these are all going to sit where, you know, properly where they're going to sit. We are actually going to add a couple more battens, aren't we? We're going to put a batten near the wheel arch because there was only one there. We're going to put one more batten here, small battens, and then that's it. But
the wood filler and the tiny cracks.
it did take slightly longer than we thought, but you know what? It's the first time we've ever done anything like this. We've not really worked with wood much at all, have we? I mean, we did our whole house, renovated our whole house from scratch type thing, but we never worked with wood. That was always like ceramics and tiles and brick and rocks and everything else, and cement and everything. So we're experienced in those fields.
I think it's good. I mean, look at this cut round here, round the wheel arch, pretty good. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to day 9 of the build of the 50-day challenge. Day 9, is it? It's week 2, day 8, 9.
Somewhere between
like
day 8 and 10.
We've got loads of time left, though. Loads. Well, 5 weeks.
No, because it's changed. We said 50-day challenge, but we've knocked some time off. We actually want to be done by Valentine's Day now.
50 days too easy, isn't it?
We've got about 4 weeks left, just under. Anyway, the
Anyway,
floor is down.
Yes.
And we're really glad that we got all of that down over the last day or so before the rain, because the last few days, as you've probably seen so far in the vlog, lovely weather. We had 21 degrees, 23 degrees.
23.
Whew. Perfect for working outside the van. But today the weather's changed a little bit, and this morning we've just been in and out, rushing in between little showers to cut the walls, cut the ply down for the walls. So we had to put everything in the van. Oh, it stopped. Quick, go.
It's not ideal, is it?
Yeah.
Before we get on with the build today, there's something I really want to show you, something really cool. But to demonstrate it, we have to go out of the van, then back in.
Ooh. So what about Charlie?
Charlie's all right. Charlie's in the front. We're not going off, Charlie.
I need to shut the door, right?
Yeah, shut the door.
And the back door, no?
If you want.
Well, proper demonstration, darling.
Go on then, go on. Now for the demonstration, we just need to enter the vehicle.
Get away from the van, now! Get away from the van, now!
Yes, we have security in the van. It was obviously the next thing we had to install, leaving the van down here on its own. So thanks to Real Link for sponsoring our video and setting us up securely for the house and for the van. So these little bad boys are absolutely awesome. This is the Argus Ultra 3. As you can see, it's cableless, so it's got a rechargeable battery in it. You can plug it into the USB, or check that out, you can get a solar panel that you can put on the roof and run it down to keep this thing powered. It's very easy to install. You can put the screws in here and put it onto any surface, or it's got like a bracket mount that you can put it onto a tree or round somewhere. Obviously at the moment we have just sat it in the corner here until we get the walls and things in and find somewhere proper for it. If anyone comes anywhere in range of this thing, you get a notification to your phone. We've been using these for quite a long time because obviously we go away in the van, and these are what looks after our house.
Yeah, we've got several of these dotted around the house, not only to keep an eye on the house for security, but also to keep an eye on our friend who's supposed to be going around to water the plant. Make sure she's doing it properly. Yeah, we've got one on the roof terrace just to keep an eye on everything, the plants, and they are great. They're waterproof, so they can be outside, whatever. They survived a Spanish summer, which is pretty impressive.
So we've got one right outside the house. Excuse the messy terrace, we are halfway through a van build. We're actually waiting for an Amazon order, so as soon as the delivery guy goes to the house, you can do a two-way talk. So I'll get motion detector saying he's there, so then I'll press the talk button and say, I'll be there in 5 minutes, don't go anywhere.
The motion detector is really good because you can separate, you can have pets or animals, people and cars, so you can just exclude one of those, so you can ignore cars and cats and dogs and stuff, and just get notified when people are coming.
Yeah, so it doesn't just keep going off all the time every time a cat goes past.
It's good for the dogs as well, not just for security, but for keeping an eye on the dogs when we're in the van working on it and the dogs are in the house.
It's just really, really good to have that extra layer of security. We wouldn't live without these cameras now, actually.
Definitely not.
You know, for both house and van.
And the quality of these cameras is brilliant. They film in 4K, really good resolution. They've got a fantastic night vision. You can have it black and white or colour. You've even got a spotlight. If it's too dark, you can just shine the spotlight and everything's visible. There's loads of settings to play with as well. So you've got like a HDR setting, so you can adjust the brightness of the display, and you can also bring up the shadows. So yeah, the quality is amazing, and then everything's controlled from one really easy to use app.
If you want to check out these cameras, then we will leave more information in the description box and also the link.
Nearly forgot to mention the time-lapse mode. Yes, there's a time-lapse mode on there, so you can set the duration of a time-lapse and just set it up to record an epic scene, especially if we've got it on the top of our van, so we don't even have to get out of bed in the morning. How cool is that? What is going on with the weather? What's going on out there now, darling?
Seriously, 1 minute it's raining, then the sun comes out, then it's warm, then it's cold, it's windy, it's just everything
Then it's
today.
doing everything at the same time.
It's doing
Rain,
everything.
Wind, sun.
I was looking for a rainbow, I can't see one. Anyway, so where are we up to? This morning we've cut the... Shall I
Just
shut
that back door.
Try again. It's dark, isn't it?
It's dark, you're just a silhouette and
I
it's
know.
dead bright
We're
outside.
trying to get the lighting right so we can film. Let's open the back door again and hope it doesn't blow off. Right. Okay.
Still silhouette-y.
That's fine.
There we go.
That's fine. Okay, so the walls. This is what we're thinking. Rather than doing one big panel, we're gonna do like single panels, if you like. So we're gonna do a panel like this, one for the bottom, and then this is gonna be the overhead cupboards that we're gonna do again, like separate. And it's just easier to work with it like this, we think. And yeah, rather than one big panel, it's probably more sturdy doing smaller panels. What's the other reason?
We're doing it horizontally, landscape across the van, because you haven't got the seams and the joins then, so it's hidden behind the furniture and the big sort of batten that's holding the heavy furniture. Well, the furniture holding heavy items to the wall, and then this will be hidden by the overhead cabinets, so you don't see any seams, any joins.
Yeah.
That's the thought process.
We're not sure what we're going to cover the plywood with yet, paint or whatever, but obviously all the aesthetic stuff comes afterwards, doesn't it? It's very, very showery, but it's better than full-on rain. At least we can just go in, out, in, out, in, out, shake it all about. Right, anyway, we've just managed before that shower to cut the bottom piece pretty well. Spot on, if I do say so myself. And then we've got the next piece is going to go up to here. In fact, I think we're going to overlap.
Slightly overlap, yeah.
And then that will go up from there. Nice fit. Now, we've decided that we want to leave the gutters exposed like this, so we can keep an eye on them. So we're going to have like a little skirting board type thing, but we're going to be able to like remove that so we can have a little look what's going on. Basically, we want to build this van so we can not take it all apart, we've already done that, but we can take things, move things around and look what's going on, look behind the walls, look down there in the gutters, look what's going on in the ceiling. We're building it in a certain way that it's not going to be completely sealed and blocked off. That's the end of it. You don't know what's going on behind your walls. So we want to know what's going on behind the walls.
Yes, we need to talk about the whole vapour barrier thing. Yeah, you either go vapour barrier or you go let your van breathe and just control the moisture, because it's inevitable. Moisture is going to happen. Life finds a way. and water will find a way. Even if you, I believe, even if you seal the whole van from the inside, there's going to be little gaps. Ventilation is the key really, because you don't want to just be cooped up with your own breath, and especially Dizzy's breath.
Yeah.
Dizzy's doggy bad breath. You don't want to be breathing in all that kind of thing.
We don't have a vapour barrier at home. We didn't have a vapour barrier in our 2 other vans, and we never get ill. We never get poorly. We've never had a problem with damp or mould. You crank the window open this much, or even a tiny bit, and there is absolutely zero moisture anywhere. Just having the window open a tiny bit makes so much difference.
We may or may not be wrong, you know, it's open to interpretation.
We may or may not be right or wrong.
Yeah.
But this is how we're going to do it. This is what we think's right. This is what makes sense to us.
One more thing, we've had quite a few comments saying about the rust in the gutters.
Yes.
Now, I understand that would make sense, that condensation, because we haven't got a vapour barrier on the walls, and then it's run down and sat there. First thing is, this van spent most of its life in northern Sweden, or quite far up in Sweden, as a fish van. So it was collecting fish, fishing it. The guy was obviously cleaning the fish.
Salty water fish lived in this van. Well, they didn't. They died in this van. The gutters weren't rusty from the van not having the vapour barrier. Frank and Emily only actually lived in this van for a couple of months during the Swedish summer before COVID hit, and that was it. And then the van was in storage for 2 years before we collected it, with no one living in it. So the rusty gutters are not from condensation from people's breaths living in here and not having a vapour barrier. The rusty gutters that we showed you in the last video are from when it was a fish moving van in Sweden. We've just got a can of wax oil, and we're going to spray all of the gutters with wax oil as well, just for that final protection. And as we said, we're keeping these open. Well, we're not keeping them open, but we're going to have something that we can remove and have a look in there and just keep an eye on that, because they were quite rusty, and the rust will come back over time, and we'll just have to treat it again.
So anyway, back to the walls.
So most people, it seems, put all of this framework up before they put the ply on. And we're thinking, well, why do we need to do that? The reason we're not doing loads of framework is...
2 reasons. The more framework you add, obviously you're losing space. The more you come out, and then the more wall and everything, it makes the van smaller. The other reason is because generally I believe framework is so you can attach furniture to it. Well, previously the furniture was attached to the ribs of the van very, very securely, and they've got a big batten on the back of the furniture, so we want to use that again.
Yeah, we're reusing the furniture. So for example, here, if you can see these holes that have been prepared into the metal, this is where the furniture attached to. We're keeping the framework for it. It was lovely and secure. So if we start putting framework on here, you know, we're going to lose space, and then we've got to, you know, go through this to get to those holes. We think it was strong and sturdy and absolutely fine. So we're just kind of like doing the same thing and keeping things simple.
That's right. Keep it simple and do things completely differently from everyone else.
Honestly, it's very, very difficult to do everything in the van with the door shut, and you try and do stuff outside and things just blow down the street.
Like a baggy pair of pants.
A baggy pair of Nick's pants.
They're rags because they don't fit properly.
And then these keep blowing over, and then it starts raining. Quick, 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 quick!
Grab it. Oh, shut this.
Honestly, you just... Oh no, it's really... Quick!
Move this.
Oh gosh. In you go. So you're trying to jigsaw wood inside the van, and obviously it's just not very good jigsawing because it's just dust everywhere. It's not good for your health.
And you've got a little dog that's just crying all the time.
So it's safe to say we're a little bit over it today, guys. We're really happy with how these bottom panels have sat there. Both sides, they've fitted in perfectly, and we're just a little bit, we don't know what to do with the top half. I mean, quite a lot of this is going to be covered by furniture. We've got the flex carpet to hide like these bits and any other bits that need to be hidden. But I think we're going to have to just call it a day. The dogs are over it, we're over it, and this is just what happens, isn't it? You just have to take a break from it, have a rethink, and then come back with like a fresh idea on a bit that you're like, oh, what should we do there? But saying that, we can't put these wall panels on yet anyway because we've only just ordered the wool insulation to hide all the cavities. We have to wait for that to come in a few days before we can actually get these walls on. So we have got time to think about what we're going to do. And then we think we know what we're doing for the top cabinets, don't we?
Yeah, the top cabinets aren't too bad, are they? They're not in your way. It's just these main central big cabinets that walls. Yeah, we know what we're doing with the top overhead storage containers, cabinets, cupboards, whatever you want to call them.
We think we know. Well, we don't know.
We know that you're going to put framing. We're going to put a framing across the ceiling and the wall. They attach to that. That's how they're securely in place, and they're not in your way. They're not encroaching on your living space in the van. It's these sort of middle panels and the walls there that we.
How about if we put this big piece of furniture in first and then do the wall afterwards, type thing?
And then maybe attach the wall to the
kind of
furniture.
Going up, because the furniture's going quite high. It's going halfway up that wall.
Yeah, could do that.
So we you know, it's not. We could leave it for now, move on to something else. I mean, there's 101 jobs to do, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, we are enjoying the whole process, but then obviously it is challenging when you're just like, oh, what should I do with that? Or I don't know. There's like 300,000 videos online showing what to do, but we kind of just want to do it our own way because watching these videos just sends you a bit insane because there's too much information.
You can just go too far with van builds, can't you? You can just go crazy with all the trimmings and making it perfect.
Nick and I were talking this morning about the fact that when we started doing van life, the word van life wasn't even a word. When we started camping in our little van back in the olden days, back in Australia, you know, we didn't have insulation or vapor barriers. We didn't even have a proper bed. We just had a mattress on crates, and we lived in that for 2.5 years. And you know, there was no such thing as van life. Was there even such thing as internet back then? We're not that old. There was internet, just about. But you know what I mean? So all of this trying to make it perfect and, oh, we have to do this way, we have to do that way, we have to have framing to put these walls this way. It's all just like, well, no, you don't.
She's losing it a bit, isn't she?
You don't need to have any of those things.
You just need, as a wise person once said, you just need to hide the van. A van build is about hiding the van.
Making it look nice.
Making it look nice.
And it being practical.
And more importantly than that, controlling the moisture. No, I'm joking.
He's joking.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just, it's tricky to get your head around because no surfaces are flat. So when you're trying to do framing and walls, it's just a little bit complicated. That being said, let's go make some furniture in the house.
That's a good idea. So just to summarise, we are really happy with the floor, as we've mentioned. We've put both of these pieces in, that side by the wheel arch, that side there, really happy with that. And then we've put this frame in across here to attach this top wall to. The same the other side, they worked out all right. I'm thinking now get the furniture in and then work the wall down to the furniture. But hey ho, we'll see. We will see. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Would you prefer lint removal or hoovering?
Oh my god, it's a tough choice there. This is pretty blinking satisfying. You have to have one of these in your life. I mean, it's one of my favourite things ever. Not just for clothes, but for back of the chairs. Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description actually, because this one's really good.
how satisfying is that?
It's amazing.
Right, I'll leave you to it.